everybody, it's Michael or Penguinos007 here today for another reaction video. I'm here today with my good old buddy
nither123.
Alright, so this guy has requested how to counter Trolldier, so we're just going to watch all the Trolldier videos from Soundsmith. So, if you guys have anything you would like us to react to, leave it down in the comments down below! We got a playlist right here of videos to react to. It's a long video list.
That's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. How to Trolldier, and then how to counter Trolldier. So 4 videos.
Are you ready?
Remember to watch the original video, support the original creator, and don't frickin' leave comments about, oh, they don't like reaction videos, because I haven't seen any of that, so you can shut up. I got a comment the other day. It said why people say that Lazy Purple doesn't like reaction videos. He never said it, but he said that people don't watch the original video. I'm like, who the hell watches reaction videos before the original video?
Raise his hand.
Is pretty simple. It's because this C5 is my favorite number. I'm not sure if it's Pavlovian or what, but at this point I'm pretty sure my brain is just hardwired to release dopamine whenever it hears this sound and sees that number. And honestly, I feel like the reason for that is pretty simple. It's because this, oh my God, is really fun. If you're watching this video, I think it's safe to say that you'd agree with me on that, but maybe don't quite know where to start. And that's okay. I mean, yeah, this playstyle is fun, but it can also seem pretty complicated if you don't know what you're doing. So let me just cut straight to the chase. You want to know how to Trolldier? This is where you start.
Critical hit!
As you probably guessed from the title, Trolldier is a playstyle primarily centered around the Market Garden, an unlockable melee weapon for Soldier with which we'll be using one specific stat. Deals crits while the wielder is rocket jumping. What this means is that if you blow yourself up...
What?
Lily, a direct upgrading path.
And launch your body into the stratosphere like a complete madman, well, congratulations, your shovel is now absurdly powerful.
Sharp as
until you hit the ground, will deal 195 damage with
Power
every
point.
swing. Now, normally when you rocket jump, you would damage yourself. It's a trade-off that you give for that mobility. But we're also going to be sidestepping that health cost by using another one of Soldier's unlockable weapons.
What?
Okay, maybe calling it a weapon is a little bit of a stretch. The rocket jumper is a primary replacement for Soldier that functions exactly like the stock rocket launcher, except it does no damage whatsoever to enemies or to the user. Originally, it was meant to be used as a training launcher, so that new jumpers could practice without blowing themselves up every 5 seconds. But we're essentially going to be abusing that to fling ourselves across the map at warp speed, power up our comically large spoon, dive bomb right next to somebody, and hopefully kill them right before we land. If you're new to this whole Team Fortress 2 thing, yeah, that probably sounded a little intimidating. This playstyle has a lot of moving parts to it, but don't panic.
You made a horrible mistake.
Let's just go ahead and break this whole sequence down into 3 parts.
It would be fun to do.
Jumping stuff.
But I don't have the rocket jumper, so.
Same.
Airborne stuff. And the shovel stuff.
It's a Gmail lock, I believe, so.
Thomas? You seem particularly triggered right now.
Is
Can
Matrix
you tell me
4.
what happened?
I've had
dreams that weren't just dreams.
Okay.
Hello again. I'm fast. I'm so fast, you couldn't even comprehend how fast I am.
Okay, first things first. In order to power up our gardener, we need to rocket jump. To do this, start walking, look at any surface, then jump, crouch, and shoot all at the same time.
Really?
And that's it. That's a rocket jump.
Yeah,
you have to crouch?
Yep, crouch, but don't hold W once you jump.
Oh, I didn't know you had to crouch.
Crouching is easier, because your legs crunch up into your fucking torso, giving you more air time, hence more time before you hit the ground, more window of hitting the guy with a crit.
Interesting.
Clutch timing can vary if you're using specific techniques like seed tapping and.
No.
We don't go there.
Okay? If you're just starting out, don't worry about any of that complicated shit, all right? For now, all you need to know for the timing is to just do them at the same time, okay?
I love Soundsmith's animations sometimes. They're great.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty clean. Maybe not as clean as, like, top tier ST Black ST clean, but
that guy, that's his job. He is more commentary.
yeah.
Okay, now after you press those 3 buttons at the same time, let go of W. This is because of something that I'm going to explain later in the video, but for now, just trust me. Don't hold W in the air. Ever.
No.
Seriously, stop it.
Well, actually.
Once you've got this basic motion down, you need
No
to start
W.
controlling where we go with the jump. This is actually the most difficult part of market gardening. The hard part isn't swinging the shovel, it's rocket jumping next to them so that when you swing the shovel, it actually connects. You aren't exactly aiming a gun at the enemy gamers, it's more like you're aiming your entire body.
Nice throw.
So let's talk about rocket placement. Where and how fast you fly when you rocket jump is primarily determined by where the explosion happens relative to where you're standing. What? So to keep things simple, let's just look at it like this. If the explosion happens here, you'll go this way. If the explosion happens here, you'll go that way. And if the explosion happens here, you'll still go that way, just faster. Now things are gonna get a little tricky when we try to extrapolate this to a 3-dimensional space, because now we also have to worry about all this vertical shit. Shooting closer to yourself on the ground will make you go faster, yes, but it will also cause you to go higher instead of further, which could be a problem. But remember, the rocket doesn't have to be on the floor. It can be on any surface. Walls, props, payload carts, all of these are fair game, and it pays off to be creative.
About these, I'm able to keep the rocket close to me, which also keeping him relatively high compared to my hitbox. Faster jumps.
Here. The last thing you need to remember for a basic rocket jump is to keep walking in the direction that you want to jump up until you jump. If you're moving your aim around with your right hand to place your rocket, that might mean you have to change up what your left hand is doing on WASD to keep going in the same direction. So for example, if I'm aiming to jump off of a wall on my right, but I keep walking forward with W, I am now walking into the wall instead of forward, and that means I'm going to lose speed on the jump. Instead, what I would want to do is swap to pressing A as I aim at the wall. So this way, I'm now strafing to the left along the wall, and I'm moving in the same direction that I'm trying to fly as I jump.
Fuck yes, dude!
I know this is a lot of information to digest, and a lot of what I'm talking about is gonna take some practice to get down. But unfortunately, this is a multiplayer game, and as you might have guessed...
Wait.
Yeah, go back.
Did it say, like, updated? Something?
Continually updated. Constantly updated.
And as you might have unfortunately, this is a
Constantly updated new game.
There it is, constantly updated.
That's fucking
When was the last update?
I
I mean,
almost 2 years ago.
And as you might have guessed, you aren't going to be able to practice very effectively if there are people trying to kill you. So instead of going into a casual server and trying this out, what I'd recommend you do is find a place where you can be all alone.
oh, this is from SpongeBob.
Yeah, now you find fucking alone.
Specifically, fire up an offline listen server. To do this, make sure your developer console is enabled. You can find this by pressing Advanced on your options menu. Then open it up, type map, space, and then any map you feel like practicing on. For this example, I'm using my go-to PLR_Hightower. To make things easier, I've also enabled
What is PLR? Then?
Huh?
Because it's not payload.
Payload waste.
Oh.
With
There's 2 of them.
SE_cheats1, and I have bound my mouse one to also refill my health and ammo whenever I fire. And now you can jump around and practice to your heart's content. One practice method that I like to use is I pick any destination on the map and then I try to rocket jump such that I can consistently land there from a few different places using a few different kinds of jumps.
Look him go.
So, congratulations! After practicing for a little while, you've managed to get a good feel for basic rocket jumping and where to place your rockets. But if you just hop into a casual game and jump straight at somebody, you realize pretty quickly that we kind of forgot something. They're an enemy gamer, and that means they can game too.
Oh no. Oh.
the airborne.
So we're in the air. We're not quite done yet. There are 3 big things you need to do in this part. And the first one is not only important, but also probably one of the most useful skills you can even learn for any advanced movement in TF2. It's called airstrafing. Even if you don't end up committing to the whole Trolldier thing, it'd still be in your best interest to learn how to airstrafe, since it's a skill that's usable on every class. It essentially allows you to control your movement while in midair, which can let you dodge projectiles, turn corners faster, and even make some pretty crazy escapes. To do this, hold down one of your 2 strafe keys, A or D, and then slowly move your mouse in the corresponding direction. So if you're strafing to the left with A, you'd move your mouse to the left. And if you're strafing to the right with D, you'd move your mouse to the right. When you do this correctly, your character kind of curves through the air. Now there is a limit on how fast you can turn though, so don't move your mouse too quickly. It's a slow, gradual thing. If you go faster than the limit, you just kind of stop. I don't know how to describe the exact rotational speed that the limit is set at, and also it changes if you wear man treads, but if you try it out for yourself, it's pretty easy to get a feel for. It does seem pretty simple.
Isn't man treads like
basically just a combination of 2 inputs, but there is one big mental roadblock that every
any land on.
new player seems to run into. And that's that thing we talked about.
What?
And it doubles your air strength, man treads. So you can go, I think, you don't have to move as much to get maximum air strafe, you know?
About earlier, holding W. The reason you never want to hold W is because it actually prevents you from effectively airstrafing. Just compare these 2 clips of me trying to airstrafe without holding W and while holding W. Right? It doesn't entirely disable it, but it will severely gimp you. Seriously, I cannot overstate how important it is to break this muscle memory early on. Don't hold W, okay? It's not good. Fun little side note, airstrafing doesn't just let you control yourself in midair, it also actually causes you to speed up. Some really smart people did some really complicated math about this, and it's... I'm not smart
using programming?
Any of this. But if you're smarter than me and you're interested in learning more about source engine acceleration vectors, I'll put a link in the description. But in the interest of moving on before I embarrass myself anymore, source engine is dumb, funny wavy line go zoom.
Funny wavy line.
So once you get the hang of airstrafing, how does it connect to Trolldier? Well, more air control will essentially let you course correct mid-jump. Obviously, you aren't going to aim a perfect jump every single time, and the person you're jumping at is undoubtedly going to be moving around, sometimes a lot. So if you airstrafe, moving around, sometimes a lot.
APM is the...
What's APM again?
Actions per minute.
So if you airstrafe, you can follow them while you're falling to the ground. Try to predict where you think they'll be when you get to the ground and aim to land right next to that spot. Now, one more thing before we move on, you might have picked up on some key wording there that is super important, but just in case, I want to run it back and play it again. Try to predict where you think they'll be when you get to the ground and aim to land right next to that spot. Aim to land right next to that spot. Right next to that spot. Next to that spot. Yep, that's right. We are not aiming to land on top of somebody. We are aiming to land next to somebody. The reason for this has to do with maximizing the time you have to crit someone with your Gardener. Remember, this thing will lose its crit buff as soon as you land. So yes, when your feet hit the ground, you lose it, but you also lose it if your feet hit the top of someone's head. Technically, that counts as landing. But if you land next to somebody, you'll spend more time in melee range, meaning it's going to be a lot easier for you to hit that shovel. So unless you're wearing man treads and you're trying to do the funny stomp, your airstrafing should be used to land next to someone. Okay, moving on from airstrafing, the second big thing you need to do, thankfully, is a lot more straightforward. Hold crouch and keep holding it until you land. That's it. The reason is the exact same as before. It makes it easier for you to hit your guard. Crouching in TF2 is a little bit weird. If you crouch while on the ground, it brings your torso down, but if you crouch in the air, it brings your legs up. So when you land next to somebody, if you're crouching, again, you have a bigger window to hit that garden. And finally, the last thing you need to do while in the air is remember to pull out your Market Gardener. I know, it's pretty obvious, but it's also very important to remember. There's an animation that plays before you're actually able to swing, so you want to do it soon or else it'll be a really awkward landing.
Hi, how are you?
Shitty phone! No! Get it out of here! Ah, it's a shitty game. Get out of it.
Game voice play. Oh God, he's coming!
He cometh.
Well, we did this. It's different.
Congratulations, you got to the fun part. And as it happens, this is also the easiest part. All you have to do at this point is hit the target after you get in melee range, but before you hit the ground. You are going to have to swing a little bit early, but this really just comes down to timing. There's a quarter-second delay between when you click and when your melee will hit something, and once you get a feel for this, it'll come naturally. Also, quick side note, you might have noticed that the Market Gardener has a stat that says it reduces its swing speed, but this actually affects the recovery time between the swings and not the actual swing itself. The first swing is just going to be the same as every other melee, so just don't even worry about it. Now, if you did all of this correctly...
Yeah, this is perfect.
Now that we've gone over every step of a market garden, I'd like to go through an entire sequence, input by input, and show how it all comes together. I start by walking forward with W, and then I look down and to the right to place my rocket. As I'm doing that, I swap from pressing W to pressing A to make sure I'm still walking forward. Then I jump, crouch, and shoot all at the same time, and immediately press 3 to pull out my gardener. Still holding crouch and A, I move my mouse to the left to airstrafe to the left, but I realize I went a little bit too far, so I swap from A to D and slowly move my mouse back to the right to airstrafe and get myself back on track. At this point, I'm right on target, and all I have to do is left click at the right time, and boom.
There it is.
I'll go ahead and play it back one more time at full speed with all the inputs on screen. And that's it. That's a market garden.
Easier said than done.
I got a good feeling about this.
No.
This playstyle is undeniably fun as hell, but it also requires a lot of practice to get the hang of. So here are a few practice tips that really helped me out when I first started. Using an offline listen server is fine for getting the basic jumping motion down, but if you're looking to try out some more advanced stuff, I would suggest you check out Jump Academy's servers. Just type Jump Academy into your server browser and they should pop right up. This isn't sponsored, by the way, their servers are just really good. They released a new map a while ago that covers practically all skill levels of rocket jumping, all the way from basic airstrafing to completely insane bullshit. Like, to put it in perspective, what you're seeing right now is one of the medium courses. I can't even make it through the hard ones myself. It's crazy. Suffice to say, it has a little something for everyone. If you're looking to get a better feel for the timing on your market gardener, though, try out TR Walkway RC2. It's a custom map where it just spawns a bunch of bots walking in a straight line for you. You can customize just about everything about the map, and it's a great environment for just getting the hang of handling your shovel. And even if you can't get the hang of it right away, don't worry. I know it can be a little discouraging, but like, this shit's hard, man. I can't even tell you how long it took me to land my first garden. It's because I lost track. It took a long time, okay? It is admittedly a lot of effort for something so silly. But, in my opinion, that
That's so
dopamine rush
satisfying.
is totally worth it. If you keep practicing and you put in the time cultivating your garden, you'll be farming those kills in no time.
Bah!
Hey, thanks for watching all the way through. Or skipping to the end, I ain't gonna
Uncle
do it. If
Dane?
you've watched a lot of my videos...
When?
Yes.
When was Lazy Purple in there?
You might be thinking this video seems a little familiar, and that's because it should. This is a remaster of a really old video that, and I'm gonna use a technical term here, sucked ass. I was really dissatisfied with the structure and the editing and the writing and all that on the first one, and while I don't really plan to do this for a whole lot of my videos, I'm probably gonna do... Probably gonna do... and to do this for a whole lot of my videos.
No, I'm not redoing stereotypes. Stop asking.
No, we're not doing those again.
We're not doing those again.
I'm probably gonna do a couple more of the How to Trolldiers, I think up until Secondary Showcase. Anyway, I'm probably just rambling over the Patreon section, I guess? That's probably over by now. Right. Anyway, like and comment, and only 1 out of 7.5 trillion of my viewers are actually subscribed and all the dumb YouTube stuff. Okay, bye.
Oh. See if they made tweets.
Yes, I actually hit the garden.
I saw he didn't have a... I saw you actually had a wiggle fucking water launcher. He jumped. He was still 195. He did.
Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, do the hell you want to to me. It's up to you. And I gotta go to work. I gotta pay for my addiction.
Oh no. Someone help him.
I just got a notification that I won another figure on eBay.
God damn. Someone help this man.
I'm out of money, by the way.
Someone has to save this man from himself.
Somebody, we have come to save yourself! To save you! From yourselves!
You have to be stopped.
Ah, fuck, why do I have to win that one?
Get fucked.
Ah! I don't have money!
What? But you need money.
I need the money. I need the money. I need the money.
Help me, I'm dumb.
Maybe I'll ask my dad. Hey, Dad, can you give me a few more dollars? I'll pay you back in Thursday.
Damn it. God damn it, Papa.
What do we got? How the fuck did I win that one? I call bullshit.
What?
They always outbid me in the last fucking second, and the one time I want them to outbid me, they don't?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also know that's too high.